Hello and welcome. I'm Patrick Curtis, Chief Monkey of Wall Street Oasis, and this is Monkey to Millions, a show where you get a front row seat as I mentor young students and professionals to try and help them break into their dream jobs. In the first cohort, you'll meet 4 students, all preparing for intense job interviews while trying to also balance a personal life and schoolwork. The goal of this show is to shine a light on the struggles of trying to break into competitive positions with a non traditional background and to give you a roadmap for your own success. My hope is that as you get to know these 4 impressive students, you are inspired to dream big. Remember, these are real people and this is their true story. Let's get to it. In this 9th episode, we hear about John's new investment banking internship, as well as a part-time job he's picked up to bring in some side income as he's in his final semester of college. John gives me a detailed update on the type of work he's trying to get at this IB internship, and I try to encourage him to keep his networking efforts up, to lay a strong foundation and build more relationships that will pay off over the next few years. We strategize a bit on how he can eventually try to get some income from the IB internship, but I try to assure him that if he's able to get the right experience, that he'll have a much better shot at lateraling. Enjoy.
It's been I feel like a long process, but it's been a fun process, and honestly, I wouldn't change it for the world. I know a lot of my friends had their return offers after the summer, and they've been coasting senior year. But I mean, I feel like this just makes me like a stronger individual, so better professional.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Ready for the long grind, right? That is your career. Yeah, that's the thing. No matter whether you come out at graduating with a job, or you come out with a job that's not ideal to you, careers are super long, and it's funny because everyone going into even as an MBA, everyone's so freaked out about recruiting for that one job after their MBA, and then within I think the status something within 5 years, an MBA 80% of people have done at least 2 jobs or something.
That's awesome.
So yeah, just know that where you start is not where you'll end up. So okay, let's give everybody just a little update because I'm curious.
Okay. So I started that internship with the small boutique firm in Irvine. There's been a lot of changes within the firm, like I mentioned last time, and actually now another VP left. So but they brought in 2 more directors. So it's kind of the structure how it is now. It's kind of weird. I mean, I kind of sat down with the senior partner and CEO today, but I mean, kind of what it is now. It's Tim, another MD that focuses on healthcare. I mean, he's been bringing in majority of the deals that I've been helping with. A new MD that kind of focuses on consumers and industrials. And I had a good talk with him. He seems really eager about giving me more responsibility in terms of modeling and helping out with the sim. He's bringing some of his clients from the previous investment banking he was at to this one. And then the 4th director that they're bringing on is kind of more of marketing / biz dev type person. She's worked in that kind of frame at other banks, so she's just helping on that front.
Hopefully she doesn't take you into that. Pull you off.
Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, I kind of
you got to be careful these reverse pyramids. I call them the reverse pyramid structures.
Yeah.
Where it looks like this. They have no support. They have no associates, no analysts, and a few interns.
It's just me now.
It's just
that's why I kind of wanted to bounce ideas off of you and talk about plans for after this. I mean, they're great. I mean, they're giving me a bunch of work I have here, just taking notes. I can tell you a little bit more about the structure of the firm. I sat down with the CEO today, and he was kind of telling me about everything. It seems like they want me for the long haul. I mean, they were talking to me about the SIE and the 63 and the 79, the different exams I need to take, and they gave me some things. He handed me this today. I don't know if I needed it. I mean, I have all your guides.
Yeah. You're I know everything on valuation. I'm a veteran of Wall Street Oasis. No. So, okay. So people who are listening, he just held up a huge valuation book, like the Bible. I don't know, is that the
McKinsey?
Yeah,
it's McKinsey.
Yeah. So I think what I'll say is, okay, so yeah, sorry, continue. So you were saying what else? So yeah, tell me about the structure. So what was he saying specifically? So that's great that it sounds like they're want to invest in you, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get to that in a minute, but I mean, in terms of the structure, I mean, the way he said it's a C corp, it's a holding company that owns the broker dealer portion, 100%. And then they have two other like C corps or firms. I mean, one is corporate services, and they work with like the non-regulated side.
Okay.
That kind of works more on the asset sales. I mean, the broker dealer kind of works more in the capital markets framework where they deal more of like stocks, public companies, corporate finance type of deal. And then the third thing that he was talking about is a merchant bank that he kind of wants to put together. I don't know how that's going to look like. I doubt I'll help with that. I'll
Mhm.
probably stay more on the broker dealer / corporate services side.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like what they do, I mean, like I said, like a lot of the deals that I've been helping with primarily lately have been capital raises. So I mean, as soon as I got there, one of the things they had me help with was with the other VP. I mean, we put together a teaser for a pipe
Hmm.
that they're working on, which is
Yeah.
probably now going to turn into an M&A type deal, which is kind of interesting.
Okay.
Um, and then they just closed a pretty decently sized M&A deal in the medical space as well, medical devices. It was 72 million.
Okay.
So I mean,
Yeah.
they seem like they have things going for them. I
Were they on the
mean,
buy side or the sell side?
they're on the sell side.
Sell side. Okay.
I don't think it's been announced yet. I was kind of looking on the internet to see
Yeah,
if
no,
it
you don't
has
have
been
to share.
announced.
You don't have to share more. It's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
so you,
I'm sure it'll be announced by the time.
this
I'm
air.
sure it'll be announced by the time we have our next call.
Yeah, yeah. Or this, this is like a 3-month delay, anyways, on this.
Oh, okay. Um,
Okay, so you're in terms of like, wait, sorry, go ahead, continue. So yeah, what have they been
there's
giving
like a
you?
lot to share. I mean,
Yeah, tell me what's going on.
I mean, with them specifically, it's just like, I mean, the past week's been slow because I think they've been like handling the restructuring and trying to handle like the new people coming in. Um, so it's a lot of it's kind of been sourcing for buyers and investors for the pipe deal. A lot of Cap IQ and PitchBook, aside from the PowerPoint stuff. I haven't really gone too much into modeling, but the guy in UMD that's supposed to be industrials and consumer focused told me that, I mean, the deals he's bringing in, he's going to need help with modeling. So I'm pretty
Hmm.
excited about that. And he also said, he mentioned Sims. And then the CEO today, when I talked to him, he said, connect with Greg, who's in UMD's name. And he said, have him send you old Sims, so you can, get a feel of what he likes and
Have you gotten
whatnot.
those? Have you gotten those?
I haven't gotten those yet. I mean, I sent emails out to the other three
Have
MDs
you have
today.
you been able to do like what I said is like kind of just be vocal, even though you're remote?
Yeah, I've been super vocal. I've been like vocal about like what I've wanted in terms of work and like what I'm interested in. I mean, that's why he gave me this.
Yeah. Are
I said
they
like,
are they giving you stuff though? It sounds like they are.
yeah, I mean they giving me stuff. But I'm kind of more afraid that like, so I mean another thing is they work with a valuations firm that kind of push like some of their deals in the past. They've kind of pushed like valuation work to another firm. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm kind of worried about is like if deals do come through the door, even though I have expressed interest in working on the models and the valuation work, are they going to keep pushing it off? And I, do want that modeling experience.
Oh, they much rather just pay you pennies to do the same
Yeah,
work, but
that's
you have to show you can do it, right?
exactly. Yeah. So that's why I think once a new MD gets settled in,
And it depends. Are
um,
they being hired for like an actual fairness opinion? You probably can't deliver that if you're not a CPA or whatever. So
yeah, I don't know about that.
it depends the type of work
Um,
they're doing. But
yeah. So I mean
tell me a
that.
little bit. Yeah. So what about? Did they say anything about pay? Are they paying you anything?
So yeah, it's an unpaid internship for like right now. I asked him like when we were sitting down, I kind of mentioned, I was just like, so I mean, how do you see me molding, like fitting into the mold? And
Yeah.
he's like, we are more of a firm or like a group that kind of, I mean, we bring people in to hit the ground running. We're not an educational firm, quote unquote. He said we're
Yeah.
not an educational firm, but he said we have like brought in a couple people in the past and have developed them, just like the VP that just left. I mean, she got her MD, and then after MD school, she didn't really like it, and then she worked with the healthcare MD, and then she
Yeah.
kind of worked her way up.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one instance. But in terms of pay, I mean, like, I don't. That's one thing I wanted to ask you. Like, if I do continue with them, how do I approach them about that? It seems like everything they're getting is, I mean, you eat what you kill. I
Yeah.
mean, the VP was also on a commission base, so I don't know how to bring that up.
Yeah. I think it's sensitive now because you just started. Like you've been.
Yeah,
How long have you been working? A couple weeks with them.
yeah, maybe 3 to 4.
So tell me about financially. What's your situation looking like at home? Do you need that cash?
Preferably. that's actually another thing. Like,
Yeah.
aside from that, like
You have
another
some
story I
debt?
have. No, this is like another story I have, like totally off topic. So like during January, February, as I was like applying and different internships and stuff, I mean, part of my interest is real estate. So I decided to apply for a strategy and acquisitions internship with Caruso, which is, I'm not sure if you know who Caruso is,
Don't know real
like
estate very well.
a big real estate development firm in Southern California.
Okay.
And I mean, 2 weeks ago, they called me saying internship's canceled. I was like, fine, I didn't really care anywhere. Like, if they're hearing this now, like,
Did you have the internship lined up? Like, or they just said, sorry, like we're not looking at people?
no, they just said like, oh, due to COVID, like we're not. And then, I mean, it was like 3, 4 interviews with the firm. Interviewed with, I mean, obviously HR, and then she passed me on to 3 other people in the firm, like one associate,
Mhm.
VP of strategy, and then like MD or like director of acquisitions.
Right.
Went through it, and then just like last week, they called me saying like, hey, like VP of strategy calls me. He's like, hey, like internship's canceled, but we really liked you. We'd really like it if you'd start part time with us because we're getting really busy. Apparently, their team got put on the federal and state level small business recovery like task
Oh,
force.
oh
So
gosh.
I think they just need extra hands. They pay well. So I'm just picking up the part-time work. A lot of it's just like research and due diligence, and then working with strategy and
What are they paying you? Like
working with the
30
strategy
bucks,
VP.
20 bucks an hour or something?
Yeah,
Or
it's $20. 20
yeah,
bucks an hour.
yeah, that's good.
It's good. I mean, just for the part-time work, and it's not going to last. I mean,
Yeah, it's temporary.
yeah, it's temporary. So I just figured, like, I mean, I'm at home. I'm working part-time with the IB right now. I can pick up more work, and I mean, I can get paid too. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
but
if you need the cash, totally just be careful that like you don't miss an opportunity with the IB, like if a deal comes through to jump on that
yeah,
modeling stuff. Because that's
no, I definitely will.
because that's good.
That's priority.
That's what's gonna allow you to kind of level up, you know what I mean? When the time is
Yeah,
right.
that's priority for sure.
Yeah. And like the other thing is, I guess if you're working part time, you know, collecting that whatever $400 a week, $1,600 a
Mhm.
month to help pay for food and whatever. Um, the other problem with it is like you need it, but it's also really cuts into any potential like additional networking you can do for like
That's true.
other boutique banks.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like when I told you in the winter, like stop interning at that. You've gotten
Yeah,
what you
that's
needed.
true.
And so like at this stage, I think almost all of your time should be spent trying to find a place that's going to be like a longer term, like a year or two, like a home. And if you feel like it's this place, this bank, and you can negotiate, I'm not saying you can negotiate now, but maybe in June,
Mhm.
next month, like when on our next call, we can talk a little bit about how you would approach that conversation, doing so
Yeah.
respectfully. And you could even say something along the lines of like, look, I've, had to pick up some part-time work with the, some of the student loans and stuff. I don't expect a lot right now. I appreciate just a learning opportunity. Um, but I was curious. I know it's very much eat what your kill commission base here. I wanted to know, is there a way to either go on like a low hourly rate or just have a small, join in just with a small thing so that, if I am doing a lot of work and a deal is successful, there is some payment at the end of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I
I
mean, it
would, of
seems like
course, not expect a lot from that, but just something to potentially help out financially.
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I wrote that down, and I'm sure like once June comes, I'm sure we'll go over it in more detail. But like,
Yeah, and you might have more options available to you to allow you to be a little bit more
mhm.
aggressive by June. Um, Talk to me about that. So you have this part-time work. You're also doing the bank work. How many hours a week are you doing that? Like 10 to 20? Not that much.
That, yeah, it's like 15 for the bank,
Yep.
and then
20
like
for the
any like,
part-time for the real
yeah,
estate.
20 for the part time. Yeah, it's really what it is.
So you're working 35 hours, which is a lot, but it's not like
Yeah.
crazy.
No, I mean, I still have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
I feel like I can pick up more work.
Yeah. All right.
Not that I should.
Yeah. I don't even think you should. I think you should really, I mean,
Mhm.
have you been able to network at all in the past month?
Yeah, I
Talk to
have,
more
and
people? Okay.
I wanted to get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
mean
Go
that was
ahead. Yeah.
yeah, no, 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 all good.
Yeah.
I mean, just a full conversation. I mean, in terms of networking, everything's kind of just been a wall in the road, at least with the past 3 weeks or since we last talked.
Mhm.
I've been like following up with like past contacts. I actually got back to a VP at a small boutique in LA today. We had like a little exchange of emails this morning.
Yep.
They put their analyst program on hold, even though I didn't actually, start the interview process with them. This was like right before. And I just followed up with him, and he said, we're looking for unpaid analysts for 6 months starting in June. And I'm already an
unpaid analyst for 6 months.
Yeah. So I was just like, I'd like kindly declined. I was just like, I'm looking for full-time / paid work. And
but what about is that bank? Do they have good deal flow?
Looking at them, it'd probably be the same as
Similar
where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their group isn't as, their group is a little larger, but
it's not a good sign when they say unpaid 6 months.
Yeah. As you said, it's more so for like, I can read you the exchange too. It's more so like people can get experience. That's exactly what he told me. I was just like, well, I'm looking for this, not whatever you're offering. So I
hope you didn't burn the bridge.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
At least I hope I didn't think I did. I said like the last 2 emails was like, definitely understand. I appreciate the consideration. I was like, I wish the best for you and the team in the future, and I'd love to connect sometime soon.
Okay.
And he was like, sounds good. He's like, sounds good. If the analyst position does open up, you are on our short list. Ivan, who's like the initial point of contact that I reach out to, enjoyed speaking to you, and we'll keep you in mind. So I can't do anything else.
Some of these boiler rooms, dude, I swear.
What? Some of these what?
Boiler rooms. They're like boiler rooms, man.
What do you mean by that? I haven't heard that term.
There's a movie called Boiler Room. Just watch it and you'll die laughing once you watch.
Okay, sounds good.
No, it's just the boiler rooms are like those old school like 1980s like chop shops where they're like dialing for dollars and like getting people to buy stocks. It's like one of those
gotcha
sketchy movies.
So that's what it's looked like. Oh, also I think I mentioned like 2 calls ago that like I was like networking / excuse me.
Yeah.
About to start like an interview process with like an equity research group in New York City, specifically Wolf Research. I don't know if I mentioned their name before.
You had, yeah.
Yeah, I had a informal interview with like the director of research there last week, and he basically just told me straight up that like we're looking for people with experience, and obviously I don't fit that mold in equity research, but he said like 6 months or 12 months anything pops up. He just says keep checking with me. So it's just a good contact to have. They do have an investment banking division, but they're like super small and they don't really focus on that.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't even tell you to go to equity research. I don't think it's the right. I really think you have to have the right personality for it. Where like you enjoy you have to get the modeling, but you like enjoy you just love research. You have to love digging deep, and maybe you like that. I don't know, but to me, it's just a tough business to be in because it's
I believe it.
People don't pay for it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Like a lot of people won't pay for it anymore. There's just so much free research out there nowadays. So it's tough to be in that business. But yeah, if you really are passionate, if you had like when we first got on the call like 8 months ago or whatever, whenever we started talking, if you're like, I love research, I would be like, hell yeah, go for it because you'd be good. And even if that's not like if you're not super passionate about it, it's hard to make be a really good analyst.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, you got to be like looking at stocks and love analyzing stocks down to like
every day.
Nitty gritty, just like
looking
be
at the EMA,
with the markets. Yeah,
and looking at all those little technical things.
Yeah. So, makes sense. I'm trying to think where. Yeah. So, what else? Anything else you want to tell me? That's a lot of updates.
Yeah, a lot's going on. I've just like kind of been thinking about how to like strategically place myself for the long run now. Especially with this firm, and then I don't know. I think the real estate internship will last like much longer if I do take off with this like small boutique. So just think about next steps and how to approach it.
Any other networking going on? Like any other additional outreach you're doing?
I've been reaching out, doing my thing.
I know you're following up, but you're getting you're getting a much lower response rate nowadays.
Yeah, much lower. People I think are.
Well, especially in early April, it was nuts, or like mid-April. I bet you as things go to the summer, as things start opening up a little bit, it'll probably just your response rate will probably start going up. I don't think you
Mm-hmm.
should stop that, because I think really your one contact, especially with what your internship experience, and especially with the fact that you're working right
Mm-hmm.
now for a bank,
Mm-hmm.
um, and part-time for another one. I think if you keep networking, you may find the right kind of boutique that's willing to pay you a salary.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? Even if
Mm-hmm.
it's 50, even if it's 45, 50,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's something, you can rely on that paycheck every 2 weeks, and then they'll probably work you for it, but
Mm-hmm.
they'll
I
work
believe
you.
it.
But I don't want you going too long. I know last time I think I said like just work for free forever if you're getting the right experience. But if you're just doing like capital raises
Yeah.
after capital raise after capital raise,
Yeah. It's
after
not
like
the right.
after the second or third one, if it becomes a lot of admin work, you're not developing your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for you. You can do a lot of self study and that type of stuff, but it'd be great to get some M&A,
Mm-hmm.
modeling, valuation, like you said, that type of stuff. More than just
I was worried about. I mean, like, think about it. Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than just out of the textbook. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, great. You can read
Mm-hmm.
that textbook. You can take,
Yeah, but actually doing it, yeah, that's what I'm kind of like gearing up for, and that's what I've been asking for at least. I mean, like every single day I'm there, I'm like, hey, like,
yeah, and they may not be able to give
and
it to you because they just may not have the deals right now. And
yeah,
I can tell you it's not busy right
yeah,
now. Maybe
it's
capital
definitely.
raising is because some businesses are struggling. There may be some
Mm-hmm.
restructuring work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think at least you're working, man. At least you're staying productive. You're
Trying,
making a little bit of money and getting a little bit of experience. That's good.
yeah, just gotta keep
So
networking.
yeah, I think in terms of, yeah, I would keep networking. I wouldn't stop that, man. Especially the new outreach,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's tempting when now that you have like to feel productive because you're busy, but like the last thing you want to do is get stuck in a place where they keep promising you the world, and then
Yeah, I don't
they
want
just
that.
never deliver, and like you start
Mm-hmm.
getting abused because it's a reverse pyramid scheme of three direct. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
very soon, if like a couple deals all of a sudden come in and there's nobody to help them, they could just start dumping on you, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden the business dev lady that was hired, she could start dumping PowerPoint presentation stuff on you, and then all of a sudden you're working like 80 hours a week getting zero.
Yeah, don't
Um,
want that to
we
happen.
don't want that, and that's fine for a little bit of time,
Mm-hmm.
for like 2-3 weeks or even a month of doing that, just to put
Mm-hmm.
in your stripes, show them that if you're doing good work. But then I would definitely have a conversation in a respectful way,
Mm-hmm.
to
Okay.
even just get paid $15 an hour or something, because if you're working even if you're working 80 hours a week, dude, that's a lot of money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a lot of money if you start working really long hours. So,
that's true.
and you can tell them, oh, you can just track my hours using remotely, using like, so you show them that you're fully transparent, because they may, if
Mm-hmm.
they're really penny pinchers and they're worried about, oh, we're not getting paid a commission, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you can be like, well, I'll track all my hours, I'll work for $15 an hour, and I see this just learning experience, and just to pay my rent, pay for food, help my parents with food, that's
Gotcha.
it. Like, you literally,
Gotcha.
that can be the line. It's hard to argue with
Mm-hmm.
that. If they, when they close a transaction, they're probably bringing in like 200-300K,
Mm-hmm.
500K, even a
Mm-hmm.
mil. So they have overhead, they have all that other stuff they have to pay, but throwing you throwing you a few $1,000s probably wouldn't hurt.
Some dog bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. We'll
But
see.
they're not going to do it out of the kindness of their hearts unless you say something,
Yeah.
um just because most of these people are like, they've been hustling and hustling, and they're not in the business of charity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it.
If that makes sense,
Yeah.
So what I'd say is just like, yeah, I think you're doing the exact right thing in terms of speaking up and being vocal. Do you feel
Mm-hmm.
like you're getting annoying anybody, like going too much,
No.
or you feel like it's been good?
Yeah,
What's
I
the
feel like it's
medium?
been
Is
good.
it all email? Are you guys doing any Zoom calls? Like, what's the?
Zoom calls primarily.
Oh, that's good. So you're getting
Yeah, I
face to
mean,
face.
like, yeah, it's like every day, face to face.
And
Yeah.
who's this with? The MD
I
or
mean,
the healthcare
like
MD?
once a week we have, I mean, like a team meeting,
Oh, good.
and then every day I'm like either connecting with the CEO or the healthcare MD.
And they're giving you stuff to do, like actual work,
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, mostly it's like,
research, and
yeah, Yeah, as of right now,
Because
I'm on PitchBook.
there's no live deals right now. There's a pitch. There's a
There,
pitch they're trying to put together.
yeah, I think so. I mean, in
Well,
terms
that's
of
good
like,
practice. That's good practice. That's what banking is a lot of times.
yeah, I mean, there's a live deal right now, which is like the pipe possible turn in M&A, and then there's another deal. It's like a media deal that's also a capital raise, but I mean, that one's probably gonna hit the fan soon. So yeah,
Okay. So,
we'll see. I'm just giving it my best shot right now.
but I think that's good. I think you're at least staying busy, and it's good you're picking up the additional part-time hours if you can handle it.
hmm
They just may not have the right work for you. That's just the
Yeah,
reality.
and that's kind of what I'm worried
But
about.
dude,
Is like,
getting really fast in PowerPoint is super valuable. Are
I
you
feel
using
like
are you using your mouse a lot in PowerPoint? You should be on your keyboard.
no, I'm
Good.
on my laptop. That's the thing. I don't have like a setup like I did like at B Riley.
But are you on your keyboard doing a lot of the
Yeah,
keys and
yeah,
alignment and all
yeah,
that stuff?
yeah. I'm just on a Mac though, so I mean, once I do hit like the desk,
You're gonna
and
need
it's a
parallel. You're gonna need you should get parallels, and you should buy a PC keyboard. Have you heard of that?
what is that? You cut out for a
Sorry,
minute.
it's called Parallels.
Parallels.
It allows your Mac to run like a PC with
It's
the
like
same
boot
thing.
camp.
What's that?
It's like boot camp.
Yeah,
I think it's the same thing.
yeah, and then basically, yeah, probably the same thing. And then you can buy a $20 PC keyboard off Amazon,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
you'll get used to using Control Alt whatever and all the quick keys in Excel and in PowerPoint. Dude, get off a Mac. Get off the Mac keyboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna regret if you learn on there. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then once I do hit the desk, and it's
There's some trainings that'll teach you on a Mac, and it's such a disservice because once you hit the desk, you're gonna be slow again. You'll get faster than Mac. You can't use your Mac at the work. As
yeah.
much as I love Macs, I love them. Just it's got to be your personal. So you need to somehow recreate that PC
Gotcha.
environment to get fast for work. So
Gotcha.
yeah, that's one of the first things I do. Just go buy a
Okay.
$20 keyboard. I think Parallels, unfortunately, I think it's a little expensive. I think it's like $160 or something like that.
It's called Parallels.
Parallels, yeah, I'll send you a link here. Parallels, because it runs it in parallel. I think that's what I call it. Parallels for Mac to PC. Yeah, run Windows on Mac. Parallels Desktop 15 virtual machine. Here it is. Yeah, parallels.com/products. I'll send it in the link in the chat right now.
Okay. Gotcha.
But don't do that without buying the keyboard. There's no point.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
I mean, I've checked this before. The keyboard work. Like if you put in a PC keyboard and you use Parallels, it actually works. All the quick keys in Excel and all that stuff.
Okay. Cool. I mean, in terms of like the keyboard, I have like the newer Mac, so it doesn't have like all the new plugins. So I'd probably just get an adapter. I have an adapter.
You can buy
it probably isn't
USB.
Bluetooth.
You can buy a USB thing with additional USBs on it.
Yeah.
So if you only
I have one.
Yeah, if the Mac only has like a couple of USB ports and you need more, there's those adapters that like turn one USB into 4.
Got it.
That are pretty cheap.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely get that.
That's what my wife, I like had to create a whole setup for my wife because she's working from home now, seeing patients virtually, and she has a laptop. It looks like a Windows, looks like a MacBook Pro, but it's a Surface. But it has like one USB, and I'm like,
I'm like, how are you gonna use that?
Yeah, so like I had to connect that to like 4 other USBs. It works. It works.
Okay.
But I would definitely do that, and maybe even get an external monitor, cheap monitor.
Yeah, I have been wanting to get like a setup, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, expensive, and I don't think I want to buy anything just yet until like maybe like I move out and get my own place. I don't know. So
Are you done with classes, man? Did you graduate?
No, I'm still like we're still going. I mean, UCI's on the quarter system, so.
Oh, you're like into June, right?
Yeah, it went in June. So
so that's tough. So you're still like doing classes plus this, 35 hours. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, the online classes aren't too bad. Like, I don't think they're bad at all.
Okay. So when do you finish up in June? Mid-June?
Yeah. June like 10th or something.
That's right. We
yeah.
covered that before. Okay. So
yeah.
How can I help? What other questions? What do you think? You nervous about like coming out and having this part-time thing? If that being your
yeah, definitely nervous, definitely stressed.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll all work out, but
What about
it
your
doesn't feel
family?
like that right now.
What are they saying? Like your parents?
I mean, they're supporting me. My mom's just always telling me like, you're doing everything you can. I mean,
Yeah.
with networking, working these part-time jobs, but something good will come out of it. She's hopeful. I am too. It's just a matter. I'm just impatient, so it's hard to see through all of it right now.
Yeah, you kind of want to know your next.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
It just may evolve, man. It's just one of those things where if you're learning, like if you're actually developing real skills, and man, yeah, get off the Mac, man.
Yeah,
Get off the Mac because like that's huge. Like there's so much value in you being able to just use your keyboard and Excel and developing that skill alone and like being able to model fast and format fast and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you do all that practice on the Mac and then you go to a PC when you actually have to go into an office again, which may be in 5 months, but whatever, when you have to do that, imagine like you can't even take all those hundreds of hours.
Yeah, I'm back to square one.
Not square one, but you're definitely slow again.
Yeah, I have to
Like
learn all the shortcuts.
you're training muscle memory in your fingers, like the cerebellum is like being developed and all these neuro like pathways are being developed. Not kidding. Like it's like a sport.
Yeah.
Or an instrument. Yeah. It's literally like I remember walking into Rothschild into the bullpen like one of my first couple of weeks, and like I was in one bullpen, I went to another bullpen, and there was this associate there, and he was at his monitor, and he was like this. And I was looking at him, and I was looking at the screen and looking back down at him, and his fingers, like I could barely see his fingers, and the screen was like a spreadsheet, and it was just going like this. And the whole thing was just getting like formatted beautifully, and like formulas filled in, and like he built this like gorgeous, beautiful spreadsheet, like financial model and like outputs and within like 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
But like gorgeous, like perfectly formatted and like the mouse nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the associate at B. Riley do that, and it's insane.
But it's like, but that's if you can get to that alone is super valuable. And so it's like, think of it as like playing an instrument. Right now, you're like, if you're like a virtuoso, you want to be a virtuoso pianist in Excel. And like you're like playing like hot cross buns right now, like hitting the keys, like you know what I mean? You're like this, you're like with two fingers, you know. Maybe you're a little better. Maybe you're playing like Happy Birthday on it or something.
Yeah.
Or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But you know, to get to the concert level pianist, there's a lot of hours of practice and drilling.
Yeah.
And I think people laugh at that, but like when you start, if and when you get a real investment banking job and they're throwing deals and pitches at you, and you need to turn an 80-hour week into a 70-hour week, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does. It does save a lot of time. I've heard that and I've seen that firsthand from working.
So literally, man, like you getting super fast in Excel and just understanding how to build a 3-statement financial model super fast. You understanding how to do trading comparables, precedent transactions, LBO modeling, DCF. You knowing those basics, those foundations, and then PowerPoint on top of that, you're going to be super valuable to any boutique bank, any elite bank.
Yeah. I'm looking at the site right now and like for parallels, and like I'm already thinking about clicking the button, just buying it right now.
So yeah, I'm glad I sold them some additional things. There might be a cheaper one, but I think that's a good one from what I've heard. So
I'll take your word for it. I mean, I'll do some due diligence, but I'm sure this one looks already cleaner than the other one I mentioned. So
yeah. So what else can I help you with? And besides, trying to keep you positive, I think your mom's right. You're doing a lot of good stuff. Just don't underestimate the continuing of the networking, because you did a lot of groundwork. From what was it, November through March before shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
And then you kind of slowed up a little bit. I mean, you of course, having the right tact when you're doing it is important, but definitely don't stop that now. Because
I definitely will.
Because if things do pick up, let's say things recover faster than expected, I don't think they are. I think it's going to be a pretty bad recession. You want to be there, and ready. Let's say 2021. Yeah, let's say 2021 is good. Exactly. There's going to be like a nice backlog. Like it's just all that's happened is it's gotten even more competitive. for everybody. So
like summer analysts got deferred for like some banks, like Wells Fargo. One of my friends, he's up in Berkeley. We interned together at Harvey and Company.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be in summer analyst this summer. They're not giving him the return offer. I mean, they're paying him the whole virtual internship.
Oh, they're not
giving him. They're not giving him like the return offer. I mean, they're gonna put him first in line, but to interview, but they're not.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Most banks did a guaranteed. At least the big ones did a guaranteed full-time offer. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked to hear that Wells did that.
Yeah.
Maybe for his team. I don't know. He's gonna go to Charlotte.
That's interesting to me. I mean, a lot of there's been a few boutique banks who didn't even like pay. Yeah, like, I won't name names. I won't name names on here, but there's you can look at the forums and see it's a lot of angry.
Yeah, I've seen one.
Interns. Sure. I'm sure that's going to start happening more as the dates approach and the banks can't hide anymore. They're going to figure out what to do.
So you think it's going to get even? Well, I mean, I'm assuming that too, but I mean, what's the timeline of you thinking it's going to get worse?
Well, I think they're starting to open things up, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be another like surge in cases.
Spike.
I mean, this thing is seems like super contagious. So like even with social distancing, it's taken a while to flatten it. So that's my concern is like, even when you open up until there's vaccine, probably next year, you're kind of touch and go for a while, I think. Which is, it's kind of interesting. Looking back at this, I think your year in 2009 or 8 is going to be an interesting like debate of what class had it worse.
Oh, well, I don't know. Like, I was still kind of young during then. Like, I didn't fully understand what happened.
Yeah, so but it's like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like.
I can't imagine like what it was like for them or like what the job market looked like. But I mean, if unemployment keeps going up now, we might top that. So.
Yes, you very easily could. There was like more like fear of a global economic collapse. This is, I think, more fear of just not being able to restart fast enough before a lot of businesses go under. That was more like the financial system being at risk. This is more just like the entire economy, like retail, restaurants, all these things, and like how is that? The companies that were already leveraged. What's going to happen? Like J. Crew just went under. Yeah. Bye bye J. Crew.
JCPenney. Bye bye JCPenney. About to go under too. Pretty.
Yeah. It's just accelerating the movement online.
Yeah.
Faster. Direct to consumer.
But in terms of like
sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. What was that?
Like one of the I think hello. In terms of like my current outlook, like post graduation, I kind of like, if anything doesn't pop up like in the next month, I mean, I just see myself continuing in this boutique bank, like trying to get the best experience that I can, and maybe lateraling out 6 to 12 months. I have spoken to a couple people,
and you may not be able to lateral out. Let's be real. You may not be able to. I mean, hopefully you can just negotiate some sort of pay with them.
Yeah. I mean, why do you say wouldn't be able to not lateral just because like the current like
just the economy might be such shit that it's like just there's such a backlog. I mean, I gotta say, if you get some real deals and you work on a few sell sides or maybe a buy side and whatever, and then and then we're able to work on your resume and it has like that transaction experience and it looks good.
Yeah.
And we make sure you're like spot on interviewing.
Yeah.
I think we could definitely get an upgrade.
Okay.
I'm confident we could get an upgrade if like they're paying you not very well, like hourly or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, right? Because until you have that experience, and that may be a year. That may be more like a year.
Yeah, no.
Which isn't bad if you can negotiate some sort of small amount of pay. That's okay.
Okay.
The thing I worry about is, are you going to get stuck there and the pay's low? And you're only doing capital raises.
Yeah.
And it's like, then all of a sudden you're not developing your skill set. You're kind of stagnant. Then I'd be like, you need to be, or then they start overworking you. They start working you so many hours doing like BS admin work that you end up like not even be able to network well and get it out, be a nasty cycle.
Yeah, well, that's like that sounds like a doom loop.
Watch or listen to the podcast about it's a guy from India came over. I don't know if you heard that one. He came over to get his MBA from, I think, John Hopkins, thinking John Hopkins was like a big name in India, thinking that the MBA
Yeah, I heard that
strong.
one. I heard that one.
That guy, that's a good like warning. You don't want to end up like jumping from like horror story boutique to horror story boutique where you're getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
He eventually like got into a good seat, but
doesn't sound too fun to start.
No, that was like a couple of years of suffering for him.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
That guy was working like 80 to 100 hour weeks.
Jesus.
Yeah, and getting paid like a joke, like $1,500 a month or something for that.
That's tough. So, all right. Well, hopefully not me.
So no, I don't think you're going to be in that spot. I think, well, you won't be in that spot because you got me here. So I'll make sure you're not stuck, and you keep push. I'll push you to keep pushing yourself forward. If you find yourself in a spot that's non-ideal. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough for everybody. I think at this point, it's important that you don't give up on meeting people, and you just acknowledge that they don't have anything, but you still get on the phone with them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Still develop those relationships. So really, now is when you lay that foundation of developing the relationships. It's not like, give me a job now. No one has the job right now. Everything's canceled. It doesn't matter. Like, now is when you show that like you truly are just looking to build a relationship. You're investing for it a year, 2 years down the road. If you don't lay the foundation right now, then a year and 2 years down the road, when you have those transactions and you are more attractive on paper, you're not going to have all the doors open that you need open.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Period.
Got to start now.
You don't have the strongest alumni network to just pull you into whatever opening there is, like telling you when there's openings when you don't even know. You have to create your own.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
Just keep that in mind, and I think you'll be in good shape. To don't stop the networking. Like 100 a week. That's the quote I want. Can you do 100 just outreach? That means 10 will get back to you, or 10 or 20 will accept your invite, and then you can send the emails, and 10 will get back to you, and then you'll have 2 or 3 calls. It's not that much a week.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely.
Because the 100 you could knock out in an hour in a day. The 100 in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But as long as you just set a day aside per week to do that, and you keep it consistent, you'll be shocked in a year. You'll look up and be like, oh my gosh, I know everybody. You'll be like, I know everybody. But if you never start and you just think, oh, let's do 10 here, 5 there, and just like, no, I have to hit this number before I'm allowed to stop. Because it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And so like the more people to talk to, the more opportunities you're going to hear about, the more openings you have.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I heard about this opportunity with like the boutique.
Exactly.
Just like through networking. Yeah.
And so like you're in a good spot in the sense of like you have now at least a shot at something. You have a shot at getting paid. You have a shot at like seeing some deal flow, getting some modeling experience. All things that you didn't have if you hadn't done this call or done that outreach. So
exactly. Just pick up the phone.
You weren't naive in thinking that you would just graduate college and the job would be handed to you.
No, definitely not. That's not an IB.
Yeah. But anyways, anything else besides my mini rant? I don't want to keep going on and on and on. But
no, I mean, like, I'll let you know how things go the next month, in terms of the type of work they give me.
Okay. And then let's talk about that negotiation and that talk before you have it.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I think our next call is June 1st.
That's perfect.
And I graduate like June 10th. So, I mean, that'll be perfect timing. I'll probably go in the next day and talk to them about it. So perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, good luck, man. And hopefully the NBA season isn't canceled.
Yeah, hopefully not. Appreciate it.
I know LeBron's sad. He was saying it's not going to happen. I'd be really, that would be sad. But I just hope you stay safe. Hope your family stays safe. And we'll talk in 4 weeks.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
And thanks to you, my listeners at Wall Street Oasis. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to send them my way, Patrick@wallstreetoasis.com. Until next time.